Hey guys, this is Zach from the Ohio guys here at Anime USA in Arlington, Virginia. Sitting to my left is Mr. Chris Smith. Chris, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really well.
That's good.
Very well.
Yep,
Having a great time at Anime USA.
I am too, and thank you for joining me today
It's
in
my
this
pleasure.
review.
It's my pleasure.
All
Thanks
right,
for inviting me.
so can you just give us a little insight into what it's like working in the industry today?
Well, it's very busy, at least for me. I'm very, very fortunate to work pretty much every day on one thing or another, whether it's commercials or animation or anime or narrating or there's a whole bunch of things to do these days. It's pretty much I think the best time, at least in my experience, to be a voice actor because there's just so much to do.
Well, I mean that's good. A growing industry is a good industry.
It is. It is. It's very good. I mean, everybody wants content, and they want all that content to be narrated, whether it's a website or again a commercial or a cartoon. There's a tremendous amount of content coming over from Japan, as usual, and that's wonderful. It just keeps us so busy.
All right. Now this is kind of a tough question we ask people, but what is your favorite anime that you've worked on? And I know it's like people have said in the past, it's like picking your favorite child. So,
Right.
and I understand. And if you have multiple, that's perfectly fine as well.
Well, that I actually do. Right now, I would have to say it's Gurren Lagann. Being Keaton from Gurren Lagann was my favorite. However, I've got a new show that's coming out that just got announced a couple of weeks ago, and that's called Jormungand. And I did a character on that. He's one of the leads. His name is Lem, Lehm, and that was a really really wonderful experience for me because again he's one of the leads and he's this kind of reluctant badass. He's a sort of a world weary soldier type, and in playing him, I got to channel one of my favorite characters from one of my favorite shows, which is Breaking Bad. I saw the clips and I went, oh, I know where I have to go with this. And he's the kind of guy who, he's not afraid to pull the trigger, but it's always like, oh, I don't want to kill you. Don't make me kill you. Oh, you made me kill you. Look what you went and did.
Yeah.
And so that had a lot of fun with that guy. But currently, until that comes out, and that runs neck and neck with Gurren Lagann. Right now, it's Keaton.
Well, it's pretty cool. I mean, I personally haven't watched those, but I will have to after this convention.
I highly recommend them.
Yes.
They're very watchable.
All right, I will do that. So, what can you tell us what it was like working on One Piece?
Pretty crazy, actually. Worked with a dear friend of mine, Mike McFarlane, who is just an amazing director. And the way it came about is I'm also the voice of the Joker for the Lego Batman franchise. And we did a game, and then we did a movie for that. And when a clip was available online, I shot it over to Mike, and I said, Mike, you got to see this. This is great. It's really awesome. Hey, look, I'm the Joker. And he heard it. A little light went off in his head. And he said, that's the voice I want for this character that's coming up, the character of Spondum. So he took that clip and he went to the powers that be at Funimation and he said, this is the voice I want for Spondum. And they went, okay. So he arranged it, and at that point, they started making travel preparations for me, and I wound up going out from LA to Texas about every 5 or 6 weeks for almost a year because Spondum has a 52 episode arc. And just had the best time. We would spend 8 hours a day in the booth recording this guy who's just absolutely manic. And I've kind of made a career out of playing a lot of snarky douchebags. He's the snarkiest and the douchebaggiest. I think of any of the characters that I played. In fact, I told a friend of mine, I said, hey, I'm going to be in One Piece, and I'm playing Spondum, and she told her son.
Yeah.
And her son said, oh my God, you're Spondum, you're the biggest douchebag in One Piece. I thought, wow, that's quite an accomplishment. I am the biggest douchebag in One Piece.
Yeah.
And I've asked people who are in the know about the show, and it's like, am I really the biggest douchebag in One Piece? And they said, well, and I had to think about it, and they said, well, there's a lot of I don't know what our language restrictions are on this podcast. They used some colorful language. Well, you got this and this and this and this, but you're really the biggest douchebag. Yeah. So, and I take pride in that.
Oh well, I mean, just nothing wrong with taking pride in your work.
Absolutely, and he really is. I mean, he's a very ineffectual character, but he thinks very grandiose thoughts about himself, and just does terrible things. very like humiliating things to other characters. And the two people that I terrorize the most, the two characters that I terrorize the most, are Frankie and Nico Robin, who are voiced by the dear friends of mine, Patrick Seitz and Stephanie Young. And I would feel bad, like scenes where he's stepping on Nico Robin's head, and I'm like, Stephanie, don't take this personally. I love you. You know, there's nothing, and I just felt, kind of bad, internalized.
That's just, I mean, one of the great things. I mean, with animes makes you feel emotion. That's really cool.
It does, and it's amazing. That show, as over the top and as big and as silly as it is, it's very emotional. You get really wrapped up in the fates of these characters, and you have people talking about their backstories and how they felt when they lost their family, or when they lost their friends, or when they were all alone in the world, and you're like, tears coming down your face.
I know.
Double cartoon.
Yeah, I've had that happen with a few animes I've watched myself.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
it really is.
I mean, it's a powerful storyline like that.
It is.
All right. Just another tough question. If you could be any character that you voiced in real life, who would you be? And you can mix and match pieces and parts from whoever.
Ooh.
Personalities, anything.
Wow. Superman. Yeah. I mean, I got to be the voice of Superman in Mortal Kombat versus DC.
Oh, that was a good game.
And it was kind of trippy for me, though, I have to say, because it wasn't much of a departure from my natural voice. A little more heroic and a little more square-chinned, and I stood at a 3/4 angle when I was recording it at the microphone, of course. But I will listen to the cutscenes, even to this day, and while I really enjoy them because the animation's great, I'll hear my voice coming out of Superman, and I think that's not real. That's a fan sub or fan dub or something that. But no, it's like, no, that's really my voice coming out of Superman, which is really trippy for me. So yeah, if I could be anybody, although, I don't know if your viewers will be familiar with an old animated series called Johnny Quest.
I remember Johnny Quest.
Johnny Quest was a show that I grew up watching reruns of when I was a kid, and there's a character on that show named Race Bannon, who is definitely the baddest ass in the room. And I'm the new voice of Race Bannon.
Oh.
So it was sort of like a childhood dream come true.
Yeah, that would be.
So I think, tough call between Superman and Race Bannon.
I mean,
So,
we can just combine them, say, both of them in one person.
I could do that.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, what if Race Bannon could fly?
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I think anyone asked themselves, what if I could fly? That would be nice.
That would be really nice.
Yes, that would.
Yeah. What if you could fly? Where would you fly to?
Um,
What would you do?
I would personally, I'd go to Hawaii.
Yeah?
But then go to Tokyo
Okay.
for a little while.
All right.
Because I always wanted to go to Tokyo. So.
You can go to both places, and quite easily if you could fly.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you go anywhere, too.
Right.
So, I mean, my girlfriend's from England, so we have to go there. So
You could go there, right.
So that's...
She could ride along.
Yeah.
Just have to wear little goggles, because it'd be very windy.
Yes, and wear your jacket. It's very cold up there.
Definitely wear a jacket. Yeah, and a little face mask thing, because bugs in the teeth.
Don't want that.
Don't want that.
No.
No.
Okay, so is there anything coming out that you can talk about? And if you can't, we perfectly understand, and we don't want to get anyone in trouble.
That I can talk about. There are some games that I can't talk about yet,
Okay.
but I have a lot that's going on right now. I'm in a game called State of Decay, which is a zombie survival MMO game from Microsoft. Was the number 2 best-selling game on the Microsoft Marketplace. It was the little game that could. They expected it to sell about 200,000 units at best, and it sold 1 million. So they were very, very happy about that.
That's pretty good.
It's like the little game that could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really, really proud of those guys. Bunch of other games that are out. What do I have coming out? I just thought of one that I can't talk about. Never mind, strike that.
Yeah.
Let's see. As far as games that I have done in the past, I'm Rufus from the Street Fighter franchise. I was Superman in Mortal Kombat versus DC, the Joker in the Lego Batman games. Gosh, what else? I'm terrible about this. I actually look. What's that over there? What have I done? Dead Space. That's right. I'm in the Dead Space games. Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 3. I'm not in the Persona games, but I'm in the Persona anime. I'm just kind of jumping all over the place, if that's all right.
That's fine.
I'm in the new incarnation of Digimon, Digimon Fusion, which is now running on Nickelodeon. I played Gigimon, who is just sort of lovable and irascible and flatulent, very flatulent. I have another show running on the CW for the little anime fans called what is it called? Crossfire Beatamon, and that runs on Saturday mornings.
Oh,
So
sounds pretty cool.
it is pretty cool, actually, and while it's a show that doesn't quite appeal to my age bracket. It's very cool to have a show on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
Because I grew up as a child of Saturday mornings. We didn't get cartoons, on all channels at all times of the day. We had to wait for Saturday mornings. So for me, it's sort of I've arrived. I now have a cartoon show that's on Saturday mornings.
Oh, I was the same way. Didn't really watch cartoons during the week, but Saturday morning, woke my
mornings.
butt up 6:30 every day.
Absolutely, and I would watch them all day well until noon.
Yeah, noon.
30.
That's
whatever.
like, okay, go out and play now.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're over anyway, and now we have to watch sports.
Oh, and news.
Sports, yeah.
Who wants to watch the news?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Dumb old news.
So, what can you tell me was like working on Monsuno?
Loved working on Monsuno. For one thing, most anime and a lot of original animation and a lot of games are all done with one at a time, where we're in the booth just by ourselves. And there are no other actors. There's no performance to work off of. A lot of times, you're the very first person recording, so you don't have anybody else's lines to go off of, and it really sort of inhibits your performance. But with Monsuno, we had 2 years of working on that show, and we did it all ensemble, meaning all of us were in the room at the same time, which was absolutely wonderful because I had an amazing time watching my fellow cast members. Was working with Karen Strassman, Cam Clark, Keith Silverstein, and Kirk Thornton, and myself. There were 5 of us. In fact, there were only 5 of us for all the characters. They didn't bring in any guests for the entire 2-year run. And so if there was an additional character, which there often were every week, we had to sort of divvy it up between us. Unless it was a female character, in which case Karen Strassman did them. She was the only girl in the cast and did absolutely every single girl. And anytime there was a little boy who came in. So I think we counted one time and she did 27 or 28 characters over the run of the show. She happens to be amazing.
Right.
So, it wasn't difficult for her. But it was just great to watch her work. And I learned so much watching, Keith and Cam and Kirk, watching their physicalities. Kirk especially, he's hilarious. He would do this one character that was sort of like it was a Tibetan monk, and he sort of sounded like this. But he couldn't do the character unless he touched his thumb to his middle fingers, like this.
Like he was meditating.
Exactly. And so everything was done like this. And it was great. There was another character he did that was just so full of energy, and his feet didn't stop moving the whole time. I think at one point we actually took video of his feet while he was recording.
Wow.
Great fun. Great fun show. I got to do so many different characters, heroes and villains, and my main character was a kind of a nerdy teenager.
Yeah.
And I think we counted, and I did 17 characters over the run of the show. So just great. Really proud of all of our work on that series. Really glad it's still running. We did 65 episodes, which is great. I mean, so many shows don't run half that long.
Right.
So the best experience. We're all friends. I mean, it's really kind of funny. People will say, "Do you guys hang out with each other? When you're not working?" And it's like, yes, we do. We just had a mini Monsuno reunion at a cabin at the lake above Los Angeles, where we all got together, and it was great. It's like a family reunion.
Oh, sounds like that would be a fun time.
It was really, really great. I miss it. We got to do that every week for almost 2 years, and just the best experience.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, could you tell me what it was like working on Future Diary?
On Future Diary, Zach Bolton directed that show, and he's terrific. He's really, really good. He's a very intuitive director, and that was a show that that I auditioned for, and it happened to work concurrently with my time on One Piece. So I would fly from L.A. to Texas to do my usual One Piece stints, and they would say, "Oh, here's something else for you to do." And Future Diaries was one of those shows where I didn't get to see any more of it than the scenes that my character was in, but it was one of those where I would go, "Oh, wow, oh, this is very interesting." And Zach would give me the breakdown of the show, and I thought, this is actually a show that I would watch. It seems really cool and really fun and really intelligent. There are a lot of shows out there that they have their merits. They're fun for one reason or another, or they've got a lot of things going for them, but you can't say, well, they're the most insightful or intelligent shows out there. And but Future Diaries is really complex, and I liked that.
Yeah.
My character, who's a bad guy, what a shock. Very very Machiavellian, very manipulative. You don't kind of see what he's up to at first, and very smooth and very intelligent.
Yeah.
I tend to play a lot of well-educated, dare I say, erudite villains, and those are a lot of fun. So I think that's all that I can really say about it without giving too much away, because you guys, you want to see this show. It's amazing. It really is.
Yeah. We like to be spoiler free.
Yes, I
we
don't.
do.
I already feel like I may have tread on spoiler ground.
You got to give it a little bit of time. You got to hook them in.
Yeah.
It's like dangling the carrot in front of the horse.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all right.
All right. Well, good.
All right,
I don't want to go too far.
Yeah. Do you have a Facebook, Twitter, or any social media you'd like to share with the fans?
I do, absolutely. Yeah. Christopher Smith, voice actor, is my official page, and I love getting messages and visits on there. I'm on Twitter at GetMeSmith.
Okay.
And tweet me, just tweet the heck out of me. I love that. I'm relatively new to the Twitterverse, so I'm just sort of kind of getting my feet wet. I don't think I've been doing it for like 3 weeks now.
Yeah, I've only done it for a few months now, so
Yeah.
I'm still getting used to it myself.
Yeah, same here.
So.
Same here. I'm not used to. Oh wow, I should be tweeting right now. Like right now, I should be tweeting, right?
Yeah.
In an interview, guess what, guys? Hey, talking about myself.
So, all right. So, well, Chris, thank you very much for
it's my
joining
pleasure.
me today.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. This has been Zach from the Ohio Guys here at Anime USA. See everyone later.
Adios.